Hello and welcome to my very first video. I don't know how this is going to work, how the camera is going to focus, maybe it won't focus, but you know what, I'm just going to tell you the story. You know what, I hope you like it. I actually don't know what the story is right now, but let's see what happens. Okay, so I want to tell you about where I live, which is in the deep dark African jungle. Now in the deep dark African jungle, let me tell you, nothing's easy. You would think that maybe the ground would be straight. No, it is bumpy like anything, just like that. Now, of course, as I mentioned, it is the deep, dark African jungle, which means that it is filled of jungle. But that's only what we say. In fact, there's hardly anything growing there. A bit of grass. Most of it's been eaten by the starved out animals. It's a bit of a rough place for the animals to live. But one of the cool trees that grow there is the little palm trees. Well, I say little, they're not little. These palm trees, they just spring out of the ground, They look kind of like this. I mean, let's not be too finicky and exact. This is not, Animal Planet or whatever. This is telling this specific story about what life is like in the deep dark African jungle. Now you might say, well, why don't you just go out with your camera and film, what's happening out in the deep dark African jungle? It's just too dangerous. I much rather just stay inside here where it's safe to film these animals in this deep dark African jungle than go outside. I mean, you go outside, you could get eaten by any kind of animal. So yeah, I prefer to stay inside. And as this is an introductory video, I'm just going to show you what the basic life is like here in the deep dark African jungle. So of course, because I live in the deep dark African jungle, I live in a proper deep dark African jungle house. We're kind of trying to make it out of natural resources because, well, first of all, you can't buy things there, so there's no shops. It's just dark African jungle kind of thing going on there. Lots of starvation and lack of water and other necessities of life. And I tell you, the Wi-Fi is terrible. So what we did is we actually took a aerial and put it in the middle of the palm tree. And we try and catch Wi-Fi like this. Sometimes we see the Wi-Fi, flying by. You can see Wi-Fi birds flying by, and we catch them in the big Wi-Fi net, which we have put on top of this tree. And that is how I'm able to upload these videos, because I catch the Wi-Fi birds. Yeah, look, I'm not really good at drawing Wi-Fi bird catching nets, but anyway, that's life. Okay, back to the house. So we live in a typical, I say we, me and my family. Of course, what's left of my family, because this is a deep dark African jungle. A few of my family members have been eaten by lions and tromped on by other animals. I'm sorry about the autofocus noises on the camera, that it like now and again goes rrr, but you have to put up with these things. This is the deep dark African jungle. You can't just take all good things. It's life is tough here. This is basically the house we live in, and as you can see, it's a tough life, but we like this kind of little house. The good thing with these houses is that they're really camouflage, and that the lions and that, which basically hide around here in the bushes. You can't see a lion. I mean, lions are camouflage. People think that you can just go to Africa and see lions. No, you don't. You don't just see lions. Those things don't happen. They hide here in the bushes, waiting for the unsuspecting person to step out of the safety of their house. And they pounce upon you and you get eaten. So yeah, don't do things like that. So this is basically a thing. I mean, I'm not a great artist, as you can tell, but I thought I'd give you this little layout of what it's like in the deep dark African jungle where I live. I mean, I hope to tell you some of the stories of the things that have happened in this deep dark African jungle. As you can tell, it's humid, it's jungly, and we haven't even touched on all the dangers that befall a person living in the deep dark African jungle. But yeah, this is really what it looks like. You know, many people think that we'd have a chimney on our house for the fire to go out, but we don't do that. We just light a fire in our house, and because the roof is grass, the smoke just kind of like wafts out through the grass roof. We do that so that it also wafts out through the door. The reasons we do this is just to try and chase the mosquitoes away, because the mosquitoes, of course, Zika virus, malaria. Although the Zika virus hasn't got to us yet here in the deep dark African jungle, you never know. I mean, it could just be there, but we don't know it's there, because most people, well, we don't find out about the Zika virus because they get eaten by lions and killed by malaria before we can even identify whether they've got the Zika virus yet. So yeah, we don't know if it's here yet, but could be, could not be. But basically that's life here in the deep dark African jungle. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. It's the first one, so I'm going to say it. If you liked it, like it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it and it was really terrible, please refrain from giving it a one of those disappointing thumbs down, because apparently that's just not a cool thing to happen to your video. And yes, if you want to see another one of these rambly videos about life down in the deep dark African jungle, yeah, subscribe. I mean, you don't have to. Of course, it would be nice if you could, but yeah. I hope you can hear me. I hope the autofocus wasn't too loud. And this is the first video, so subscribe. Did I just say that? I always complain because, sometimes you watch these videos and everybody's like, subscribe, subscribe. And in the minute I try and make my first one, that's all I can say. So yes, really, you know what? Don't worry about the whole thing. Right.